Hello YouTube, it's Fred here from HilliansBricks and welcome to this evening's stream. I'm just running a bit late, I'm just setting up everything, so I'll be a couple of minutes before we get started. Amazon Prime has almost come to an end. A few of the sets, for those who've been following, a few of the sets have started to reappear, but it seems like tonight is all about Amazon France. Lots of interesting 3 for 2 deals, so I'm just opening a drink. Gonna be talking again, so I need to make sure I stay hydrated. So in today's stream we're going to be looking through the retirement list for 2021. This is the one also from the alleged summer list and also by the end of year list. So this is from a website called promobricks.de, so it's a German website. We've translated using the Google translate function into the browser, and we will have a look at all the sets that are rumored to be retiring this year. So feel free to add comments. I got my chat here as well with me, so I can have a look at your comments, and definitely want to make sure that maybe have some interactive discussion on some sets. What do you think might do well, might not do well? I'll also share my personal opinion on what sets I've got and which sets I haven't bought. So I'll get started in a minute. I'm just going to have a little sip. But yeah, let's see which sets are going to be retiring this year. So for me, it's the first time I'm actually going through a full year. So it's pretty much a year now since I started my Lego journey, and it's kind of the first time I'm starting now to go through a phase of sets that are about to retire, and then starting to see what's going to happen from a pricing perspective and availability perspective. So should be interesting over the next couple of months, perhaps 12, 18 months before we might be able to sell some of these sets at a reasonable profit. So yeah, as I said, promobricks.de is the website that we're going to be using today as our list of reference. Let me just transition to the screen already, and you'll see this is the first list that we have, and this was the list that is came out earlier in the year, right? So this has been around for quite a while, and this is the list that's with sets that are rumored to retire by the summer, so anytime soon now, right? So perhaps if you see some of these sets being discounted, you might do well to snap them up. Hi Wolfsbricks, yeah, I'm well, hope you're well. So we're gonna go through these lists. So the first one is some city sets. So you can see the prices are all in euros, purely because it is linked to a German website. But yeah, I'm sure we will see some of these deals appear in the UK as well, as they are going to be clearing. So you got the diving yacht. I do not have this set. This has been around for about £14, I believe, in the UK. It's been on sale quite lately on Amazon, so it might be worth snapping up if you're looking for that. I tend to stay clear myself from Lego City sets unless I find from an investment perspective, unless I see there's no other set in that sort of genre theme that's kind of available to replace it. So, but I'm more looking at like from a city building perspective. So the other day I managed to snap up the hospital, the one that's already retired, and that's got a great resale value. But generally, I'm a bit more worried about Lego City sets. The space one is probably a wise investment. This has been on Amazon for around £80 lately. If you have been around longer, you could snap this up for in the £55 on Argos at some point. And the speedboat transporter, I'm pretty sure there'll be another replacement for that one coming out pretty soon. So it's not something I would be looking to. And then there's some classic sets, definitely not worth it from an investment perspective, because Lego always have these sort of sets in different variety. And then there's a townhouse with pet shop and cafe. Now this is a 3-in-1 set. I quite like this set, but not at that price, right? But it has been made available at some places for about £60, £55-60. This kind of fits in nicely if you have like modular builds perspective. If you buy multiple of these, you can make quite a nice mock building with those. I can feel that this one might actually do quite well from a aftermarket perspective, but it's generally, when we look at it from, I also compare my, I always have a backup plan, right? In case, you know, some of the sets do not do quite well from appraisal perspective investment, I kind of look at what would the part out value be. And this is where 3-in-1s usually let me down, because they don't tend to have the best part out value. So that's kind of why I'm be sitting on the fence of that one. Then we got Lego Disney. Now, I'm not a Lego Disney investor because I do not really know the theme thoroughly. It's not one that I'm openly on top of. But that's probably the most cases, I would say, with people who are into Lego, which perhaps makes it quite more attractive because you're not going to be competing with lots of people who are buying these sets. But I do feel that the UK market for Lego, for, you know, this is clearly targeting at younger girls. It's probably not at that stage yet where, you know, the grown-ups are in, you know, here. It's mostly still been a boys' toy until, you know, the last 10 years. So I think it's kind of, from a value perspective, it's probably still slightly behind. Although if you can find this at discount, you know, Disney sets will probably do quite well. The problem is there's going to be another Ice Palace anytime soon from Disney, so that will probably bring the value down. The Canoe Trip, not sure about that one, and the same for the Wintry Castle. That seems quite expensive in Europe. And then we're going to Lego Dots. So our friend Mark, he will be quite happy to see some dots, although these are just the bracelets. Yeah, I've seen these, you know, on sale pretty much everywhere, so I'm just going to skip over those. Then there's Duplo. Again, I've been watching some YouTube channels and people go crazy sometimes about Duplo when you look at in America. I don't think that in the UK there is a huge aftermarket yet for Duplo. And that's why I'm sitting on the fence for that. You know, if I were to buy some Duplo, it'd probably be some sets that had lots of animals in there, or maybe, you know, the Toy Story train might be one. But generally, I'm staying clear of Duplo. At least that's my personal perspective. And then there's Harry Potter: The Great Hall at Hogwarts. This set is probably discounted quite a bit now everywhere. I've seen it around the mid-50s in some places, so this will probably do quite well, although it's likely going to get replaced with another one, bigger and better. But some people, you know, like to collect them all, right? So from that perspective, it might be good if you can get it at like a 30 or 35% off deal. I would then recommend to get that one. You're probably not going to see a huge return on investment anytime soon. It all depends on the minifigures. And then we got the Jurassic World. Now there's a whole new wave of Jurassic sets coming out in September this year. Interestingly, this is a set. Let me open it up. I think my son actually bought this. We went to the Lego store and bought this set. Is this the one with the little camper van, or is this the other one? I don't even know which one this is. So yeah, this is the one that my son got the other day. He absolutely loved it. We actually bought this in the Lego store on a clearance for 40 something pounds, when normally the price was much higher. So we got quite a good deal in the Lego store for this set, and it was the last one on the shelf. I must say, I do like the dinosaurs from Lego. You know, they're buildable. They're you know, I was quite impressed. I thought you didn't think much of it, but yeah, my younger son, who is 6, absolutely loves all the Jurassic stuff, and he loves dinosaurs and things like that, so he's looking forward to the stuff that's coming out in September. So far, I've got none of those sets that I've invested in, by the way, so none of them before I've bought any of those from an investment perspective. Now, we'll talk about Lego Minecraft next, and both of these sets are ones that I bought and are in my storage unit. So I have bought the Minecraft sets. I've got the sheep farm. I think I got about 6 or 10 of them. I'm not sure how many exactly. I haven't looked at my inventory anytime soon. But that's a set that I've got. I think I bought that, you know, clearly at a discount. I wouldn't have paid the full price for that. The only bad thing for Minecraft sets is that usually the part out value doesn't work so well. But you know, I do believe that the Minecraft sets will probably appraise in value. You know, it's one of the most popular games around the world, and people, you know, getting more and more into Lego. I think it might appraise in value over time as well. And then the Creeper Mine, in some countries this was actually on sale for Amazon Prime Day. I managed to buy this a while back. I think it was from Germany in the end, and I paid in the, I think it was the low 50s I paid, so I had a very good deal on the Creeper Mine. I wouldn't pay the full price for it. I believe it's still available on the Lego store, but it's quite expensive at RRP price. But when you can get a good deal on Amazon or anywhere, I would say snap it up right now. Then we've got lots of Ninjago sets, right? So that's because we now have the new wave of Ninjago has just been out. It's got J Cyber Dragon. I don't have any of those apart from what I think is the marketplace. Is this the one here? I'm just having a look. What's this? 7-1. Yeah, Gamers Market. That's what it's called. So you have actually got one here. I only got this because it was a lightning deal once, and I got it for half price on Amazon, but we were only allowed to buy one. But yeah, I decided to buy that one. I'm not sure about any of these sets from Ninjago. I think the Temple here might do quite well. I'm not sure how these translations were. Right? Temple of Nonsense. That does not seem a correct translation, right? And Wu's Dragon. Perhaps, yeah, some of the dragons might do quite well, but I've found that most of them, I've had quite a lot of these before, but I parted out a lot of the sets before because the part out value was quite good. And then we're going to go to the Speed Champion sets now. These are the last of the series of the 6 stud white Speed Champions. Now, Speed Champions historically tends to do very well from investment perspective. Now, many people in the UK will have got the one at the top, so this the Ferrari F40, because this was part of the 2 for 15 deal at Amazon. I do have a bunch of those. I don't think we're going to see any quick, sale of those. It all depends on how much you want, right? But I do think that, it could be quite a few years before that stock dwindles down, because lots of people have bought a lot of them. So I think that this might take quite a while from getting your getting a healthy profit on it. But maybe you're not looking for an obscene return and you're happy with a smaller amount. Maybe if you bought it at the right price, you might get a quick return on that one. And Ferrari is a brand that people tend to look for, and will probably sell quicker than the others, I would say. Now the the Chevrolet, it looks good, but I think that's more for the US market, I would say. I'm not sure that would be as popular here in the UK as in the US. I'll say the same for the Dodge Challenger and the Dodge Charger. That's probably, out of all these cars, one that I never bought. So I didn't buy the Dodge Challenger and the Dodge Charger. That's the only one missing now. I do have the Chevrolet Camaro, but I parted it out. I don't have any boxes to sell as an investment. But I do have some McLaren Sennas, because before it was the F40 on Argos for 2 for 15, they had the McLaren Senna at 2 for 15, and I parted out some McLaren Sennas, sold quite a lot of the parts actually, because the dark bluish grey did quite well. But I then decided to also stock up on a bunch of McLaren Sennas as part of a look to sell brand new unbox in the future. And then more recently I bought quite a few of the Porsche 911s, so I think those are a good deal as well. 75895. I think from all those cars, I think the Porsche is probably the nicest looking, and similar to Ferrari, I think you have a fan base of people who like those cars. I don't think there's another Speed Champions Porsche out at the moment, so I think that might do quite well from an appraisal perspective. Because clearly the Ferrari F8 Tributo is still out, so there is still a Ferrari Speed Champions available, whereas I don't think there will be a Porsche available, although you'll see the F8 is also rumored to retire at some point soon. But yeah, this is remember the rumored list for the summer wave, so now we should start to see these sets disappear from our shelves. Now we're going to go to Star Wars. So, and this was all rumor, but you can kind of see some of the sets are starting to disappear or start to get discounted. And there was the Sith TIE Fighter. I've seen discounted pretty much lots of places. This was also as one of the countries on Prime deals. The Snow Speeder and the Sith TIE Fighter, when I recently went to the Lego store, they were part of the big sale they had going on. I got a few of the Snow Speeders, by the way. I think they will do quite well. I got them at a reasonable deal. The Duel of Mustafar, I think that would probably do quite well. I haven't got any of those. I didn't find the right price to buy them at any time recent, so I have not decided to buy any of those. But I do have a lot of the battle packs. And again, the battle packs, they were part of Argos 2 for 15, so I do have quite a few of those. but I think that lots of other people will have as well. You know, if any one of you got any comments, feel free to say, let us know if you got any of these sets, or if you know, you got any sets you're holding on to, what your strategy. I'm more than, you know, looking to have some interaction. You know, I'm looking at the chat as well on my left hand side to see if people got any comments. But yeah, I definitely have quite a lot of those battle packs. Now Dio, I'm sorry, but I think that's not my favorite set at all. I don't know, it just seems way overpriced for what it was. That was on big discount even in the Lego store where they're trying to clear it, and even a few weeks later after I went, they still had some in stock. So I think this has definitely been one of their sets that hasn't been as successful as they had hoped for, because it's not, you know, it's always been in stock and it's never been really doing any well. It's always been discounted pretty much in many places. And then you have the ATST Raiders. I'm not sure that's actually retiring now. You know, that clearly got pushed up in price earlier in the year because the demand was there, because the rumor that Cara Dune minifigure will be the only one in the set, but as we now know, that's not the case. I'm not even sure if it's still retiring or not. I've got a few of them, not too many. I think I've got about 4 of them in total. And I got them, some of them at retail price, some of them at a small discount. But with Star Wars, you know, it's generally a theme that will do quite well. And I think over time, even the set, you know, it might take some time to get the sort of level of return on investment that I'll be looking for. And then we got some superheroes, as they call it. We got the Iron Man's Workshop. We've got Spider Jet versus Venom Mech. The Thanos Mech. I had some of those, but I parted them out. You might still get some in clearance now for quite good deals if you look for them. And the Avengers Truckerist, I think I got one, but the box is not in a great condition, so I'm definitely looking to part that one out at some point. Hi Matthew. Yeah, none of the Dio, not a great looking set. Yeah, I was just, and the part out is awful as well. I think they just did not very good with that Dio. And then Super Mario. You know, these are just some of the, you know, the extension stuff. I'm not into the Super Mario range whatsoever. I just personally don't really get it. You know, I can see clearly you can build your own course, but still it's not something that has ever appealed to me. And as you will see in the next list, you know, there's a huge long list of Mario that's retiring, so I'm pretty sure that they hasn't done as well as they would have hoped for. And then we got some Lego Technic, the Rescue Helicopter. That was on Prime Day, and I think in the US. And then they got the Chevrolet. I think this one will do quite well. I bought some. These were last Christmas on sale in Tesco for like half price, so you could have snapped up quite a lot of those then. And they worked at that time okay from a part out perspective. I bought some to part out, but I did not keep any from an investment. So just to give you some perspective, I always started my bricklink journey before I started like looking at investing Lego to sell on in the future. I've always started the bricklink first. So in the beginning when I bought sets, it was purely with a view of parting them out. Now I'm kind of doing a mix of both. It's kind of like space dictates what my strategy is at the moment. And that's pretty much it from the original list that we had earlier in the year. So now we're going to go to the list in a second of, it only came out a couple of days ago, in terms of what's going apparently going to retire by the end of the year. And there's some interesting ones on there. So Temple of Nonsense, yeah, madness. Okay, 15% off. It's interestingly Google translation, right? Temple of Nonsense. I think that's the favorite one so far. I think probably a better name than the Temple of Madness. I should get sponsored by Coke. I'm not Cristiano Ronaldo, as you can see. Although I do like to drink water as well. Just the Russian format. And here we're going to go to the list that's end of life December 2021. So yeah, the Corvette actually 33. Oh, at Lego, it's also been, you know, on Amazon for 30s, and you know, I've seen it in the 20s some places. So I need to have a look at the Lego website if they're starting to do some discounted stuff. Also saw that they got double VIP points on quite a lot of sets coming out. So let's go to Lego architecture. Now I have quite a big range of architecture sets in my storage unit. It's probably value wise the biggest chunk of investment that I have. I personally am not a fan of the architecture set as a build. I like to quite build big and structures and things like that. That's the stuff that I like to build, and these are all little fiddly bits usually, right? And I find it very frustrating. The only architecture set that I've built is the Las Vegas one, because my wife decided to give that to me as a gift one day. But I can see why people like it as a collector's item. You know, you can put the place that you've been to, and it generally appeals to adults. And from an investment perspective, historically, now I always talk historically, doesn't mean that we'll do the same in the future, because more and more people like us are doing this, so it might subdue the prices. But historically, they've done quite well from an investment perspective, the architecture sets. Now, and I always make sure that you buy them well. And typically, the architecture sets, it's always been better to buy them on Amazon and the continent, because they sometimes have very good deals. And I've got a few of the San Francisco ones. Most recently, I also got some of the Trafalgar Square ones. Got a few of the Empire State Buildings, and I think I've got a few of the Dubai ones as well. So I'm quite happy to see a few of these sets appear on the list here. Surprised not to see the New York one and London skyline, but then you got to think about those are two of the biggest tourist cities in the world. It's been out since like 2016 and 17, I believe. And that you can get them very cheap, but I think they keep churning them out because people probably keep buying them. And I'm just wondering if they're going to retire. I've got quite a lot of the London ones, not so many of the New York, and I'm now starting to consider whether or not it was a good idea to buy the London ones, purely because I think there's going to be lots of people that have them, and once they do retire it, they might replace it with something new and better. So I don't know, we'll have to see. So yeah, it did. I saw that Wolf. So yes, they were on sale in the Prime Day deals for £26 something, and then later they were off Prime and they were cheaper. So the London set. But yeah, you know, if you can buy them at that price, and you know my stash of London ones, I've been buying them at between the £25 and the £30 mark. I think you're okay. I just feel that we're gonna have to wait a lot longer to see the same sort of returns as some of the sets that you might see here, because I don't think people are going to buy them in such bulk. And I remember I bought some of the Empire State Buildings at like in the low 60s, which I thought was a pretty good deal. Now, Lego art. So this is like the first wave of the art ones that are going, right? So you got the Star Wars one. So these have only just been a year out, right? So but this is, they're only, if they're going to retire, because remember this is just a rumored list. That means that they're only going to be out for about 15 months. They're discounted everywhere. I managed to I've got one of the Marilyn Monroes. And the only reason why I bought that one was because there was a huge deal once on in Argos where it was available for £57.50. So it's like half price. And I thought, well, at that price, I'm going to buy it. The others, even at £70, I have not bought any of those yet. If I have to choose one of these now to invest in, it'd probably be the Star Wars one, which I think might be the best one. I just don't see the appeal for like the Beatles or Iron Man. I don't know. I think the Star Wars one probably got a bigger fan base and might do quite well over the longer term, especially the fact that you can build a big one as well. Okay, you can do the same for the Iron Man, but I think Star Wars has got a much bigger fan base. Now we're going to go to Lego City. There's quite a long list of Lego City. Clearly, there's lots of new sets there come out to kind of replace these ones. So the Mobile Operations Center. Now I haven't got any of these, not to sell on. So you can get these. These. Some of these are like 2 for $30, I believe, in Argos. Like this one here, 60214. I do have this one, 60216, but I got that one to part out, and I bought it for a really good deal. I think it was a half price deal. It's in my storage unit somewhere buried, so that's why I haven't parted out. Maybe by the time I want to part it out, it has appraised in value and I will sell it. But remember, generally Lego City sets are ones that I don't really like buying as an investment. I do know that people like to invest in the space ones, so I think the space ones are probably okay. This one's been discounted recently, you know, in many places as well. The Mars Research Shuttle. I'm just conscious of the names, right? These are not the right translations of what you will see on in the UK. Not sure about any of these ones. So this one here, Patrol on Highway. The rest is you know, you can get this for about £10 something at the moment in Amazon France if you buy the 3 for 2 offer. And these parted out quite well for me. I parted these ones out before. And there's Duke Detained the Police Officer minifigure. You know, that's one of the only city minifigures from my perspective that like flew off the shelves. That one sold really well. This one here, the robbery with the monster truck, you could get that half price in Sainsbury's at some point. Police Station, does that mean we're going to get a new one? I would believe so. And then some of these other sets. I got the Tuning Workshop. I bought that from a parting out. Again, I got that at a really good deal. You can find that in some places. I think, was it Zavi? Zavi, or yeah, I think it was Zavi, for £60. And then you get cash back on top of that. But I parted this out a long time ago. Interestingly, for this one, the sticker sheet and the instructions sold, which I thought was something worth sharing. Got the Research Submarine. That one's on sale now as well in on Amazon France, 3 for 2 offer. I'm surprised to see the ship already, right? So this was clearly Amazon Prime. You could get this for £70. I think the RRP for this research ship is way over the top, but you know, I can understand why. Those hull pieces are probably very expensive to manufacture and bulky. But I'm surprised that, you know, this ship's already going to be out, and you know, at £70 it might be worth to buy that. That's, I'm just thinking about, you know, what kids like. I just remember my childhood when, you know, I was born in the 80s, and I remember I always wanted the harbour, and they had like the cargo ship and some police ships, and I quite like the ship's theme in general. And I know when the set came out, there's quite a lot of people that were, you know, looking forward to this set. Now, I didn't buy this set myself, just purely because it's space, and it's not something I would. It's not a display piece, and I'm not at the age anymore that I need to play with Lego. I'm just wondering if I bought it where I put it with my son. So we haven't got this set, but I can see lots of other people that may want this set in the future, and I don't think there's gonna be any time soon where Lego are gonna replace it with a bigger ship or a similar sort of ship. So that's why I think this one of the city sets is maybe one that I might need to look for a deal before it ends. If I ever looked at collectible minifigures investment, I'm not really into the minifigure buying from a whole perspective. Do you mean like the series minifigures that are coming out? I've only been selling the minifigures that, you know, I've been parting out. I've not been out there to buy the boxes in the collection of series of minifigures. You know, we've had discussions on our Discord server, which, by the way, if it's the first time you're joining us here, we have a Discord server that you can join for free. And some people have been saying that after a while, depending on the minifigures, it might go up in value. So it might be a good strategy. It's not something I've done, though. So yeah, I think that large ship is one that I'm contemplating. But yeah, again, city sets are usually ones I stay clear of, but that one is one that I might buy. And the other ones, look, I'm surprised some of these sets, right? So if you look at these were like December 2020. So like the skate park, that's the one with the new base plate, I think, right? So I'm surprised to see that's on the list, for example. You know, why would that be on the list already? Now, I'm not going to talk about the classic sets because I know they were going to be replaced with some other ones similar. Then we got some quite a long list of Creator 3-in-1s. Now, the only one that I tend to like in this list is probably the toy store, and that was on Prime deals as well. €50 or whatever is the RRP is way too high. You know, you can snap this up for below £30. I think it's more or less what you're looking for. I think that might do well. You know, Burger Monster Truck, you know, I just don't get it. You know, there's nothing here that, you know, a race car that'll get replaced with another race car. You know, Planet Exploration Rover, maybe people like space, but you know, I'm not convinced by any of these 3-in-1s. The only 3-in-1 that I currently like is the pirate ship that was on sale on Amazon Prime, and I do like the new the theme park ones, the one with the Ferris wheel. I think that's quite a nice one. So it's good, right? So yeah, some of the minifigures are collectible ones, and I guess they might be good. It's not something that I have looked into yet, so maybe I'll need to, right? Because that's the sort of thing that doesn't take too much space. It'd be interesting. Let me know. Do you actually open the bags, or do you know which ones are in the bags, or do you just open them and then reseal them in other bags? Let me know. And then Creator Expert. Now, I'm pleased to see one set on here. See, the London bus is actually currently discounted on Zavvi for an £80 odd. You get cashback as well. The James Bond Aston Martin DB5. I like that set, the look of it. I think the cheapest you can get it at the moment was like Hamleys, although that deal might have expired now. So I know that I have a friend who's into Lego. She likes Lego. Just only recently she got into it really badly, and I've got my former boss. He wants to get the set. I have a feeling that this Aston Martin DB5 will do well in the future. When I was, I built once a mock a long time ago, and I was thinking if only I had the skill set to build a James Bond Aston Martin DB5. This was before it was launched out. This was like in 2015. I was thinking that. I was like, this would be a great set. And then when it came out, I was like, you see, they thought the same. We need this set. So I haven't got this one, but I think I will jump on it. I think it's going to do well. The next set, by the way, a gingerbread house. That's a dead cert. That's going to do well. Unfortunately, I've only got one, and that's the one we build every Christmas. So it's an open set. I think that one is going to skyrocket in value, the gingerbread house, because it's a sort of very Christmassy theme, a gingerbread house, and you can just see that one is just going to go, wouldn't surprise me within 2 years that's a £200 set. I already saw it's no longer on sale in John Lewis. It's not a place where you can buy it in many places, so if you see any this Christmas, snap them up, I would say, because I do think that one is going to do really, really well. And some Harley Davidson Fat Boys. I got a few of these purely because I got them at a really good price. Not sure what to expect of them, but Martin, we had a discussion the other day. He shared some insights of, motorbikes and how they tend to do well over time. So I'm hopeful they'll be the same for this one. So I do have a few Harley Davidson motorbikes in my storage unit. So I'm hoping you're right. And then we got the these sets here, obviously linked to the Chinese New Year, the Story of Neon. I got one of those. Clearly it's not as popular as the Spring Lantern Festival. The Spring Lantern Festival just parts out really well. It's also a beautiful looking set as it's fits in with the modular style of buildings and the city building perspective. If I had a lot of cash lying around, I'd probably buy quite a lot more of the Spring Lantern Festivals, because I think that one will do quite well over time. That'd be interesting to see what Lego will launch for next year's Chinese New Year set. But I think it's got quite a few minifigures in that one as well, and also the light brick in the Ox. I think it's a really beautiful set, the Spring Lantern Festival. I think it will do very well. So they got the gingerbread house in stock. It's good to know. I'm just waiting for a good gift with purchase that might be worth buying some of the gingerbread house right from Lego. I'm not convinced by the little rocking ship at the moment. It just, although it's the prime price, right? It's £85, and if you buy one every time, we just need a good cashback offer on top of it to make it worthwhile. But yeah, I think that gingerbread house will do well, and the same for the Spring Lantern Festival. I parted out 3 Spring Lantern Festivals. I've kept one for myself, not from a reselling perspective, but just purely one that I want to build one day. So, and we're going back to Lego Disney, Arendelle Castle. You know, some of these smaller sets. No, I think I'm surprised by this one, the Raya and the Palace. So all these Raya related sets, because obviously the movie's only just come out. You see, 2021. I'm surprised to see this already in the retirement list, you know, so quickly. I would have thought maybe the summer of next year. So it wouldn't surprise me if this got pushed back. I just can't see it. I'm happy to see this little guy on there. This was on since Smith's was half price for £6, and then Amazon price matched it. You were only allowed to buy 3, so but I got 3 of them. So not to part out. Clearly, I think that will do quite well. You know, might get 20 quid for it at some point. Not a bad investment. And then we got some more of these fairly newish sets, which I'm not so sure about. Oh, here's Mark's favorites, Dots again. Some of the early wave sets. So these will be, you know, in clearance everywhere, but you know, there's nothing real unique to them. So I don't think from an investment perspective I would be buying them. And we go to Lego Duplo. Again, I'm not the biggest expert at Lego Duplo. Just seeing there's nothing really that stands out there for me. I say, wow, it's thing. Maybe the Lightning McQueen, you know, the Link to the Cars movie might be okay. If you can get that in clearance sale, because you know, there's always a Cars movie that there's already been so many Cars movies, and you know, kids that grow up with them, you know, even I would imagine, you know, my kids are a bit older, but they were still watching, you know, like the Cars movie, the original, even though they've been out for so long, so they do still get into that sort of thing and might be getting convinced to buy some Lego related to that. Then we've got Lego Friends. Interestingly here, a hospital, right? So this is currently, because I talked about the Lego City Hospital that I bought the other day, because this means that once this hospital goes, there's no hospital sets currently out there in the Lego environment. So it might be worth buying one if you get on the discount deal. You know, the Friendship Bus was on discount pretty much everywhere as well lately. Panda Rescue Station. Yep, and Baby Elephant. If you can get some of these on a discount, it might be okay from a part-time perspective, purely because of the little animal figures. But the rest, I'm not so sure. Got the City Plane, Alpaca Rescue. That's a long list of. But look at this. These are newly released sets, right? So why would they already be on the retirement list? So that's why I'm a bit skeptical about this list. So you think, Martin, the rocking boat could be quite worth getting then, because it's limited? I'm just not sure about it. Yeah, so lots of Lego Friends. Now Harry Potter. So Whomping Willow. This I think is part of the 3 for 2 deal in France right now. The traveling night. You mean the night bus? Again, this Google translation is at it again. You know, I wonder if it's going to mean that there's a new one coming out of these. The one thing I'm surprised about, oh, they must have revised this, because earlier in the week when I looked at this, they had 3 books, Hogwarts Moments. Now it's down to 2. But why would they have 2 and not 4? And I'm very surprised to see all of them on, you know, see any of these, because these are just January releases. And I sort of think this is probably something that would have stayed out there for a long time. I don't know, if I look at it from, if you were to think about giving a gift as a birthday gift to someone or something like this as a child, you know, that's probably the sort of price range many people will be looking at. You know, you can get these sets, if you're looking around, you can get them for the low 20s, you know, sometimes even below 20, but low 20s is what you can usually find them at. So I'm surprised. I wouldn't surprise me if these ones stayed out for a bit longer. Then we got Lego IDs. So the Treehouse. Now this was actually rumored to be on the retirement list last year. Again, it's on the list for this year. I've got 3 of those. 1 for myself and 2 to sell on. So I'm hoping that this will be on the list. Now, the cheapest I've seen it in the UK is through a shop called the Cool Shop. Well, Cool Shop. And I bought 2 of those from there, and I think it was £20 off RRP when I bought it. In the US recently, they've also been on sale in Walmart, and then Amazon price matched it at $170. So yeah, I think this one will do quite well. Purely, it's so unique and it's quite nice. So I think the Treehouse is probably a wise investment over time. And unless they, it's just something I can't see them build a new treehouse like this anytime soon. Yes, they might build a new treehouse but in a completely different design. Who knows? And I talked about Jurassic World earlier because there's a new release coming out in September this year. So this is some of the sets. So actually, this the first one I saw was on sale somewhere on Amazon. You can get it for about £12. Lots of these sets are discounted as well. You got the Indominus Rex versus the Ankylosaurus. My son loved this because it's got the gyrosphere in it. Although I must say the launch thing of the gyrosphere is not the best. I'm wondering if it's some of the building skills or if it's just to be like this. And then there's a 4+ one as well. So yeah, I'm not surprised by any of these being on the retirement list, given that there's a whole new wave of stuff coming out. And then there's more Minecraft, and it's quite a long list of Minecraft, I thought. So you got the Last Battle, which I think is the wrong name for it. I think it's the Ender Dragon one. Then the Pirate Ship Adventure. So some of these sets are actually on sale, part of the Amazon Prime again. But yeah, typically I think they do quite well over time, but make sure you buy them at a discount price and not full RRP. But there's none of these that I have at the moment. I would have to buy them at a good price for me to jump into them. And then you got Minions. Surprised to see only just one on there. Obviously there's been a new release last month of some Minion sets. I would have thought they'd either take all the old ones out or just keep them all, not just delete one of these. And then there's a Ninjago list again, quite extensive. Look at this. Destiny's Bounty is called the Flying Sailor. Interestingly translated. I think this might do quite well. Simply because you can get this, if you're looking out for the set, you can get it mid-70s now when you start to take cash back into consideration. I think, was it Zavi or another one was $79.99 you could get this, and then you take cash back on top of that. This Sky Superjet is actually currently on Amazon France on sale. You could get it for quite good prices. Again, you have to buy 3 or 3 for 2. You get good discounts. So there's quite a few of these Ninjago sets actually currently on sale on Amazon France. So if you're on our Discord server, I posted a lot of links to all these deals about 2 hours ago. I think it was 2-3 hours ago. I haven't got any of these, just so you know. And then we got to Speed Champions. Just keep an eye on the chat as well. Speed Champions, I talked about the Ferrari F40 earlier. Now, I like the F8 Tributo. I think aesthetically looking at it, it is a beautiful set. It just, the curves and everything of that set is really, really nice. And I think that will do really, really, really well. I haven't got any of those. My son has it because he's built it, but I haven't got any in stock from an investment perspective. Now that I see that this set is on the rumored list of retirement, it's probably one that I need to get some more of. Purely because I think it'll do quite well. And you can get this, for £14-15 quite easily. Sometimes you get it lower if you luck out and you see some deals. But generally you should never pay more than £14 or £15 for that set. Don't ever pay the full £18. The Nissan, I've parted out that set. I don't think it'll do that well from an investment perspective. Could be wrong, but that's what I think. Then you got the iconic Audi Quattro. I think that could do quite well. Again, you can get this sometimes for like £12. I haven't got, again, any of, you know, I've actually got all of these at some point built or parted out, but I haven't, apart from one of these, I haven't got any of them to hold as brand new in box at the moment. So I might also look at getting some Audis at some point, because I think they'll do quite well. Then you got the Jaguar ones. These were on sale on Prime Day for like £22, I believe it was. So that's probably a good price point to snap them up. I didn't buy any of these. I parted those out before. But I do have some of the Lamborghini ones. But I bought those before Prime, and I think now you can get them just below £40 quite easily in a few retailers as well. So the Lamborghini. And we go to Star Wars. First one, you got the Resistance Y-Wing Starfighter. This one has been on sale in quite a lot of places. You might get it below £50. The same for the Kylo Ren shuttle. I've seen that now appear in the 70s. Not bad. I haven't got any of those two, by the way. I do have a few of the Mandalorian battle packs. Roughly around £9 I paid every single time for those. Then you got Obi-Wan's hut. I parted it out. Don't have any to sell on. Same for the land speeder. I don't have any of those. Then you got Poe Dameron's X-Wing Starfighter. You know, it's quite a quick turnaround, really, isn't it? 2 years it would have been around. You know, there's so many X-Wings. This has been discounted in some places to around £70 or so, I believe. I don't plan on buying any of these. The Stormtrooper helmet might do well over time. And these ones you can get, by the way, I think it's Zavi 3 for 2 offer at the moment, so essentially 33% off if you buy, you know, 3 sets. So you might want to check that out, because you get cash back on top of those as well. You got the Anakin's Jedi Interceptor. This set here, the transport ship, the Knights of Ren, you can get that in the mid 40s now on Amazon, so clearly that must be a price match. And then you got the General Grievous Starfighter. Now this set was way overpriced in my opinion in the first place. It's £75 I believe was the RRP. Now you often see this in the 50s, and I still think that's quite expensive. I think that the 50s is probably the price it should have been at as RRP, with some offers of that set appearing in like the low 40s. I don't know. I'm not going to buy that one. And you got the brick sketches. I'm not sure about the brick sketches, right? But, you know, I do like, I often mention, I do watch, you know, this channel called Brickbox in the US, and Jim from Brickbox covered it the other day, and he says many people are over watching these, and he's seen, you know, people paying way over the odds on some of these brick sketches. It's just, I don't know. I can just see I can buy the parts and it'll be a lot cheaper to build it. But then not everybody knows how to use Bricklin, how to buy parts and build something like that, or just give the box. So maybe it's a collectible item as well with the box. I would have to find these at 50% off if I want to get into the brick sketches. And I would probably just buy the Star Wars one. And then you got Darth Vader's Castle. That one's been on sale in a few places around Europe, I believe, for Amazon Prime Day. TIE Fighter pilot helmet. Now this one will do well. Surprised to see it on the list. I don't think it will be on the list. Maybe. If it is retiring, I think it'll do quite well in the aftermarket. Again, I believe this is one of the 3 for 2 offers you can currently find on Zavi. Now, if you only look to buy one, they have them discounted on Amazon as well. Sometimes you need to click like this coupon code thingy. But it's slightly more expensive per unit price that way. But then you only need to buy the one. So if you're looking to buy one, if you look to buy many, go to Zavi right now, I'd say. And then you got a UCS Star Fighter. Unless they bring out a new one anytime soon, this is probably going to do well from an investment perspective. You know, most UCS sets are quite collectible, especially if it's only been around for this long. Not many people will have built up a massive stock of these because you can't buy them from many places. So I think that might do quite well. And then you got Death Star Last Duel and the ITS transport ship. I've seen this one discounted quite significantly. I'm not very familiar with this set here, but these have not been around for long, right? This will be a year and a half. And then we got some superheroes, so lots of the Mech sets again. Not surprised to see those. Loki's Revenge. Now this is look at it, you know, only a year ago this came out. This, by the way, is one of the 342 deals in Amazon France, so if it is on there, and it's the same for the Helicarrier, I think is one of the 342 deals as well over there, so you can get some of those deals quite quickly. I think the Helicarrier might do quite well because it's a smaller version of, you know, the big Helicarrier, and that one's done well. Wonder Woman versus Cheetah. Now I've got a few of these purely because I managed to buy them from what's it called, from Smith's Toy Store when it was £20 for a set. So I've got a few of those, not too many. So I'm hoping it will do well. You know, the minifigures tend to be quite valuable, and there's 3 minifigures in that set. I'm hoping that maybe that will appraise in value. I'm just not so sure, but I thought if you buy it at £20, it'd be hard to go wrong. This boat here with the penguin chase, this is also part of the sale on Amazon France 342. You can actually load a lot of these up there over there, and it works out like something like £6.50 or even below that, or even like low £6 even for this set. And it's got 2 minifigures. You know, from an investment perspective, that might do quite well. A small set, probably sell for 20 quid in a few years' time. So yeah, they got a few of these sets actually in France on sale, 342. The bat base, the mobile bat base is on sale as well now. If I remember correctly, it was in the mid-40s you could get it at unit price. But surprised to see sets that are just barely a year older on this list, right? Black Widow Helicopter Pursuit. I haven't got any of these, by the way. Then you got the Hulkbuster. That is another one of the 342 you can get in France. And then we got the Iron Man's helmet. We just heavily discounted everywhere at the moment, so yeah. So Spider-Man. So I would my view, Wolf, with this. I've parted out Spider-Man's Mech. With the Mech battles, the Mech sets, it's usually a good idea to part them out when you sell them for selling the minifigures. But I have found with the Iron Man and the Spider-Man that I've not sold those minifigures. They're not as they're not as good from a sales perspective that I found as with Thor and Captain America. Those ones fly off the shelf. So from that aspect alone, it might be worth to keep the Spider-Man and see how that does, and then maybe in a year's time, if you haven't shifted it on, then maybe part it out, because by then maybe some of the minifigures has come down. But the Spider-Man minifigure is not unique, right? And there's quite a lot of Spider-Man figures out there. If you ever buy like a bulk buy on Lego, or whenever I see a picture of a bulk lot of Lego somewhere, you'll often see Spider-Man somewhere appearing there. So that's my view on that one. Avengers Tower. This was discounted in a few places. You can get this for £60 right now. I think this might do quite well. Although there's a bigger and better version coming out, it might not do so quite well. You got the Iron Man Armory. Yeah, this is discounted to £20 right now. You see, I'm very surprised to see these sets right here. This only came out this year. Why would it already retire within a year? Now, it'd be great if it does, because I just bought 6 of these from Amazon France. Although I will be parting them out. I also bought the Thor Mech from Amazon France today. So definitely, I think these ones will do quite well from a parting out perspective. But also probably, you know, if this is true. So remember, this is just a rumored list. If this is true, these boxes might do quite well, because a year of sales, I don't think they will have sold that many. Because remember, many people bought lots of Lego last year during the COVID crisis. Probably not that many people have been buying Lego this year, apart from resellers. So yeah, I think that might be a wise investment if this is going to get confirmed. Same for the Miles Morales. Yeah, look at this. This is set here just March. Ghost Rider Carnage. This was also 342, by the way. France. And then we talked earlier about the long list of Mario, right? you can see I'm not going to go talk through all of them because it's not a theme that I'm thoroughly on top of, and I just don't get the whole Mario theming. But yeah, there's quite a long list of stuff that's retiring. And then we're going to go to Lego Technic, and I am pleased to see some of these sets on here. So first one is Bugatti Chiron. I've got one of those. These are interesting. They were on sale on Amazon yesterday for £195, which was a price match to Costco. So some people might have snapped those up. They're still a good deal now on Amazon. I think last time I checked was about £216. But anytime that price drops below 200, I think that's a good price. Then we got some of the remote control vehicles, right? So you got the stunt racer, you know, the extreme off-road vehicle, and interesting here you got the big R9800 excavator. It's a huge box, but I saw that you could get this from Amazon France as part of the 3 for 2 deal for £228 unit price, and that even included quite a big chunk of money on import duties. So very surprised that it came at such a good price, because in the UK you won't see it that cheap. You might get 250, but it worked out 228. You got some of the smaller ones. The catamaran is 3 for 2 in France as well, worked out in the 20 odd pounds. Not a bad deal. This one as well in France was on sale at the stunt show. I have 2 of these because I bought a whole bunch at the beginning of my journey in Lego. When I started parting out, I bought a few of these Technic sets. I decided only to part out 3, and I kept 2 in storage. Found them the other day. I was like, oh, forgot about these. Oh well, might just keep them until they retire, and looks like they are retiring soon. So that'd be nice. And then we got the crane truck. This was on discount part of Prime Day. Anytime below £60 is probably a good deal. Top Gear rally car. Now, I have mixed emotions about this set, right? On the one hand, I'm very, very pleased to see the set on the retirement list, purely because I've got 6 of these. Now, one I'm going to keep for my youngest son because he keeps bugging me about it. But Argos here in the UK, they sold a lot of these at clearance sale for £65, and because the retail price is, I think it's £120 or so in the UK, or 125, I'm not even sure. And I managed to buy 3 at £60 or 60 odd pounds, £62, can't remember, and then 3 at £50. And this was last year or the beginning of this year when this happened. So I've got 6 of those. But when you look at it on eBay, you know, lots and lots of listings in the UK for this set. So clearly lots of people snap these up at that price. And I think it's going to take a while for that to clear. The prices that they're currently going for, the average price is between £85 and £90. So it's still way below RRP that the set is selling. It's also a bad set from looking at it from a part out perspective. The part out value is actually lower than the RRP for that set. So yeah, that's why it's probably been discounted so heavily. But you know, we're gonna have fingers crossed. But I do think we're gonna have a long-term strategy for that one, and I'll probably have to lower some of my expectations from an RRP for that set just to shift it at some point. But yeah, there's lots of people that snap that deal up. That's why I'm a bit how do we feel about that one? And then we got the cement mixer truck. Again, surprised to see that one, only a year old. I don't have that one and don't plan on getting it. Then we got the articulator Volvo dumper. I kind of regret not buying this yesterday in Amazon Prime because it was sold out within hours. Cheapest that I had seen in the UK before for the set was £150. Amazon Prime had it yesterday for £121, I believe. And I know, Martin, you picked up a few of those. I think that's probably a very good deal at that price. And I don't see anything coming out like that that's so similar and so, you know, such a short lifespan as well. It might do very well over the long term. And then you got the off-road vehicle. Surprised to see a set that's only a year old to be on that. But I generally think that the remote control vehicles are not doing so well from Lego. And then you know, look at this video, only just launched and it's already on here. That's why I'm very skeptical about that. So I'm not, you know, some of these sets are clearly rumors. So I think that's actually the end of the list. Yeah. So let me just switch back to my screen. So yeah, that's the end of the retirement list. It'd be interesting to see what sets are actually going to retire. I'd probably say maybe 70-30 mix, so 70% maybe of that list is probably accurate, 30% is probably just not true, but we'll have to wait and see what happens, right? Yeah, I'm thinking the Top Gear car is going to be one of those that I need to forget about it and see how it goes. That's definitely going to have to be a long term, but the fact that I bought it at such a good price is what I'm not too worried about, right? So the other sets I'm hoping I won't have to wait for that long, but the fact that it's there are so many sellers, so that's something that I try to take into consideration as well, and I'll see how many people are buying it as well. If you want to make a quick return or if you want to do a long-term play, then it doesn't really matter as long as you buy it at the right price. But yeah, it's interesting to see that lots of these sets that are on that list are a lot of the sets that are discounted in the last few hours by Amazon France. So so there might be an element of truth in this list as well. The fact that you know, Amazon France have not discounted all the sets, by the way. So there's a selection of sets that have 3 for 2, and it seems to be a lot of the ones that are on this list. So maybe there is no coincidence there. So yeah, there are architecture sets on there. So there's the San Francisco one, if I remember correctly. What else was there? So there was the San Francisco. There was the Trafalgar Square, Empire State Building, and Dubai. So those were on the list. So if you've missed out, there's actually, so we got the list from a website called promobricks.de. So it's a German website. So we looked at 2 lists. So we looked at the list that was for the summer. So that list has been around for a while. And then the other list was by the end of the year. So the architecture sets are for the end of the year list. And that's those 4 sets are on there, rumored. So these are rumors. They're not necessarily going to be fact, but we'll have to wait and find out what happens, right? So, but I'm hoping that the architecture sets will all be retiring, at least those ones on the list, so we can start to sell them. Cool. Well, unless anyone's got any further questions, you know, I will be on the Discord server shortly, so feel free to, you know, continue the chat or debate there if you'd like to. But I will be calling this a day for this video. I do have to work again tomorrow, so I've had 2 days off. So, but tomorrow is a different day. I'll get back to work, probably catch up with a ton of emails. But then, you know, it's been interestingly 2 days with Amazon Prime. So today was a bit of a disappointment Prime related wise, but I think Amazon France made up more than enough for that disappointment that we've had with the Prime activity here in the UK. But yeah, thanks again as always for everybody.